All right, everyone. It's my pleasure to be coming your way on this beautiful morning. And I'm excited that we're doing this on this beautiful day. What an amazing day it is. I'm excited because for me, I'm excited for you. I'm also excited for myself because I'm going to also be learning something new today. All right. So wherever it is that you're joining from, I would like you to just use the comment section and just write where you are watching or joining from. All right. I'm excited that we're doing this on this beautiful day. This beautiful and wonderful day. What an amazing day to be alive. All right. It's been an incredible journey thus far in the year. I don't know what the year has taught you, but the year has taught me a lot of things. One of the things the year has taught me is the fact that if you must win, then you've got to do whatever you do with insight. You understand? So I'm not just going to be doing things anyhow. And so for me, this year was a defining year for me, at least to a very good extent. I was able to um, to a very good extent, stay consistent. I was able to define certain things that I want to focus on. As against other years that I'm doing this, I'm doing the other one, and I'm doing the other one. But for me, this year has been a defining one for me. I've been able to define where I want to exert or where I want to put so much energy in. And I hope, I hope you have, I hope that is the same for you, right? Um, Dr. Simon Matthews is my name, and it's my pleasure to be doing this today on this beautiful, beautiful morning. All right, I'm reaching you live, right from Abuja, Nigeria. In case you're wondering, where is Dr. Simon uh, doing this broadcast from? I'm doing it live from Abuja, Nigeria. And in case you're wondering where Nigeria is in Africa. You understand? What an amazing! I'm excited because this is the last for the year, and guess what? This marks this marks the beginning, or this marks the beginning of the series of masterclass that we will be having here every every Saturday as from the beginning of 2026. All right, we'll be having master classes every Saturday on this channel. Every Saturday, business masterclass on this channel. So you are in for something amazing. So this is just my gift. All right, this is just my gift for you. All right, this is just my gift um, for you as we end the year nicely. So we'll be talking about something very interesting. As you can see on the flyer, as it is interesting, or as you can also see, the topic is interesting because if you understand the entire concept of, if you understand what you're about learning, then um, it will be able to help. It will be able to help you change your game as far as 2026 and beyond is concerned. And what you're going to be learning is not just only going to just help you in 2026, but it is a concept that is going to help you in 2026 and beyond. And I've simply titled it the 2026 advantage. The 2026 advantage. So the things you're going to be learning series of strategies, business strategies that will help you win as a business. Series of strategies that will help you win as a business. Upon careful observation, I've observed that there are three categories of businesses that usually ends every given year. Three categories that will end a given year and also emerge in the new year. That will end every given year. Because when I say emerge, they're no longer going to be three. All right. So at the end of every given year, there are usually three categories of businesses. Three categories of businesses that emerge. The first categories are the ones that have folded up. So as we end the year, as some of you are excited and are counting your gains, there are so many businesses that are counting their losses. In as much as this is not, they didn't start the year with that, they started the year with optimism, like some of you starting the year with so much optimism, and you're looking forward to a beautiful year. There are a lot of you, there are a lot of you. Thank you very much. As you join, please feel free to let us know where you're joining from, either the city or the country you're joining from. Thank you very much. So the point is this: there are some people that are counting their losses, and as a result of that, some of them have actually folded up. The, one of the first categories of businesses that have emerged in this particular given year that is rounding off are businesses that are folded up, that are folded up. In as much as many of them didn't envisage that from the beginning, sadly they had to fold up because they couldn't continue. That is the first category. The second category of businesses that are going to be ending the year are those who didn't do well. They are also counting their losses, but they are lucky enough to have ended the year not on a very good note, not on a very good note, but at least on a fair note. They are not among the statistics of businesses that folded up. So they are the second category. But guess what? Guess what? The category that I like are those who are counting their blessings, who are counting their gains. You understand? Who made certain projections and they were able to hit their targets. Some of them even surpassed their targets. All right, some of them even surpassed their targets. So these are the three categories. These are the three categories. Now the interesting thing about the three categories is the fact that they all started 2025 with so much optimism. Yes, they all started 2025 with so much optimism. But I've come to realize that in the scheme of success, optimism is just only that thing that will keep you pumped up. But optimism without any strategy attached to it, or without any workings, or without any form of work that is attached to it, may not give you the kind of results that you desire to get. So what this simply means is that you can be optimistic for all I care. You can even, for those of you who are of faith, you can even be prayerful for all I care. If you don't do the things you are supposed to do, you may not get the results you are supposed to get. You may not get the results you are supposed to get. You understand? And so this is the reason why I decided to put this masterclass together, to be able to help you, because like somebody rightly puts it, what will give you an edge over others are knowledge. Is knowledge rather. It's knowledge. However, permit me to add this. It is the knowledge that you have and you apply that will give you the results. It is the knowledge that you have and you apply that will give you the results. If you know and you don't do, you may not get the results. If you know and you don't do, you may not get the results. So what I'm simply going to be passing on to you, I'm going to be passing on to you knowledge. However, you have a part to play in all of this. You have a part to play. The part you've got to play has to do with you committing to do the things you're going to be learning if you want to have an edge over others, if you want to gain an advantage, you want to be at the advantage spot over others. But trust me, if you do the things that I am going to be sharing with you, if you do the things that you're going to be learning this morning, if you do them, or that you're going to be watching and learning later, for those of you that will be watching this later, if you do them, you are going to get results. And Your case will not be like the case of those who are counting their losses while they are folded up. But at the end of 2026, you're going to emerge as you're going to be counting your blessings, and you are also going to be amongst the statistics of businesses that did very well. All right. So I hope that we have a deal. The deal that we have is that you're going to commit to doing the things before I take you through the series of things you need to do. I would like to just briefly share with you some of the things that I found out that could be of help to you by way that may be happening in the global market. All right. One of the things I have discovered is the fact that there's going to be a modest and stable growth. There's going to be a modest and stable. Please, I would like to confirm. Can you all hear me very clearly? If I'm audible enough, please let me know. All right. If I'm audible enough, please, I would like to know. And please feel free to share with me where you're joining from, the country or the city that you're joining from. I would really love to know. And feel free to also drop your questions. As I see them, I will attempt to shed light or answer them. All right, because that's why it's a masterclass. All right. The idea is that I share ideas. Then, if there are feedbacks you give, and also feel free to also write the comment section the things that you are learning. At the end of this masterclass, I'm going to be letting you guys into something very important. Don't worry, I'm not collecting your money. All right, and it's not another paid class. So uh, don't uh, don't worry. All right. So let's get into it. So, like I was saying before, I said the likely some of the things that may likely happen or that may likely be the trend in the coming year is somebody said he thought he's Floyd Mayweather. I'm not Floyd Mayweather. My name is Dr. Simon Matthew. All right, I'm not him. All right. To know that one can associate your face with a great person like Floyd. All right. So one of the things that would be happening is the fact that there will be a modest and stable growth. You understand? Another very important thing is the fact that AI, of course, this year we saw a lot of advancement when it comes to the issue of AI. It will be taken to another level. It will be taken to another level. The reason why I'm sharing this with you is so that is to help your planning. You understand, so as to know what your plans should be around. You understand, so as to be able to take advantage of where the market is headed, so as to be able to know what to do. All right. Another very important thing is the fact that, of course, AI will be the baseline, because a lot of businesses, there's going to be a lot of adoption of the various AI solutions that will be made available. You understand? So as a business, you need to ensure that your business is AI compliant, or that you are taking advantage of some of the opportunities that AI has got to offer to be able to operate your business. You understand? Because a lot of things will be determined by AI in the business world, whether you choose to accept it or not. A wise businessman or businesswoman would not just take chances, but they will also take advantage of where the market is headed. Aside that, also the global trade will be restructured around regionalization. Regionalization. What this means is that as against what used to happen as global, a lot of regions would some regions. When I mean regions, I mean in terms of by virtue of continents. All right, some continents would enjoy some level of visibility and trade when compared to other regions. So what this means is that because of that slow level of growth, and because businesses would want to ensure that they are not wasting resources, and they want to be very relevant, and they want to ensure that whatever that they are investing into whatever they do yields quicker results. As a result of that, the regions or the nations that will enjoy better trade are nations that have some level of political stability and as well as stability when it comes to the issue of security. Aside that, also, even Africa will enjoy a lot of visibility and trade because of one, the size of the market, and two, because of the enormous deposit of natural resources that are deposited in Africa. As a result of that, there will be a lot of trade. You understand? So what this also means is that for those of you who are in countries that will be having your elections, you want to ensure that as much as possible you maintain peace. All right, you want to ensure that you engage in the system in a free and fair manner. You understand? Because whatever happens, if there is no political stability and if security is not guaranteed, you may likely not enjoy much from the global trade that is restructured from just globalization to regionalization of trade. All right, so that's also another thing. There would also be there will also be a spending surge, a spending surge around digital goods. You understand? A lot of spending will be happening around digital goods. So if you are a business, you should also that is not invested in any form of digital goods. You need to also do that. All right. So I just thought to share this insight with you to be able to help you know where the direction is as far as global trade is concerned. So you also feel free, of course, feel free to research more about what the global trend would be when it comes to the global market. Now to the strategies, and I will just be giving you back to back because the strategies are over 20. I hope you're ready for it. So have you grabbed your pen and your paper, and remember, we have a deal. The deal is that you are going to commit. You have committed that you're going to do. And trust me, these things are practical things that you can actually do. You understand? They are not stuff that are off the moon. You understand? There are things, they are not theory. These are practical things that you can do. The very first thing that you need to do that will give you an edge is for you to regularly pause and review your business's operations. Regularly pause and review your business's operations. One of the mistakes most business people make is that they just run on autopilot. They don't have any time for breaks. Some people think that breaks are evil or are inimical to their businesses, but that is wrong. You understand? They are not inimical to your businesses, but they are in your business's interest. Even as human beings, imagine that a human being works 247 without rest. The chances of that person collapsing becomes very high. You understand? And you realize that you are doing what is called the law of diminishing return. The more you put in, the less result you get. Why? But by the time you are well rested, by the time you take some time out to rest, you understand, you come back again, you become better productive. You understand? In the same vein also, it is important. It is important that as a business, you take time out regularly. You could decide to do it monthly, you could decide to do it quarterly, or you could decide to do it bi-monthly. Maybe let's say every 2 months you take a break and you evaluate. You do like an appraisal of your business's operations. All right. You just oppose that with your projections and all of those things, all your plans, your goals for the year or for the quarter or for the month, and you check that side by side with how far you've come, what progress have you made, and all of those things. You understand? So, and the very good place to start that is to even do that while this year is winding down, is for you to take some days or a day or two off. You understand? To do an appraisal of how far you did this year. You understand? Because if you don't pause to review, if you don't review, you may not know what the things you did right and the things you didn't do right. Because in the course of that review, you are able to know the things that you did right, and you're able to then know the things that you need to do. Maybe the things you didn't really do right, or areas you need to put in effort And even areas you need to discontinue certain products or certain things. You understand? It is in the place of review that you are able to sort all of these things out. So regularly, you regularly pause to do your review is very important. The second thing that will help and give you an edge is learn to keep records. Learn to keep records, especially service-based businesses. Let's learn to keep records. Some of us are not very good with keeping records. Let's learn to keep records. Let's learn to keep records, because if you don't have a proper record, you may not be able to know what are even some of the benefits of keeping records. Number one is that it helps you know how your business is doing. It helps you know the state of your business. Another thing that it does for you is that you can tell the inflow into the business, the inflow and the outflow, that what comes in and what goes out of the business. It is through records that you're able to know all of those things. Apart from that, also, record will help you even file, like for some of you, records having records will help you properly file your annual returns. Will help you properly file your annual returns. All right. So that is also another thing it can help you do. Aside that, also sometimes some of you you go to pitch. All right. You go to pitch either for investments, or you go to pitch for possible partnership and all of those things. If you don't have a proper records, you may not be able to have you may not be able to have the accurate data that you can present to the panel, or to the person, or to the people that you are pitching to. All right. Aside that, also sometimes some potential investors may want to invest, but they want to see your books. If you don't have records, you may not be able to give or have something concrete to be able to give to them. All right, that they can look to be able to know. So because sometimes they need to also know what was the state of health of the business that they are putting their money into, to know whether or not the business is investable or not. All right, this would also help you sort that out. Apart from that, also it also helps you coordinate your business's activities. Number three is for you to be able to produce or create based on insight, customers' insight and inspiration. Create based on customer insight and inspiration. Let me explain. Now, over time, some businesses, all right, they just create products, they just create services with the hope that someone will see it somewhere and like it, and buy. All right. But if you want to have the advantage in the coming year, this is also the reason why proper record keeping is important, because part of the records you should keep, you keep your cash flow, you keep your overhead, all of those records, even feedbacks that you get, have where you have a place where you collate them, where you keep them. You understand? What all of these things would do for you is that if you have need for any to use any of those information, you know they want to go for, like for feedbacks. Sometimes feedbacks from customers will give you insight. This is one of the things that brands like Amazon uses to be able to anticipate anticipate certain needs, all right, and create certain products in anticipation in anticipation of the request that will be made by the customers, all right, by the customers. So it is important that you learn to keep proper records. So create products, make products, all right, develop new services based on insight, not just based on uh, not just based on your own idea. Because whatever you do, I hope you know that you're not doing it for yourself. You're rather doing it for those that would come to buy from you. Then by inspiration, for those of you who are of faith, all right, because this may not apply to everybody. For those of you who are of faith, sometimes maybe in your place of meditation, you could have an idea drop in your mind to create a particular product. It might be that somebody somewhere, you understand, is beginning to nurse the need for that particular product or service. And so by the time you pray, you are able to, the divine is able to drop certain ideas on your mind, and you create that product, and before you know it, boom, it makes headway. For example, imagine those who created the vaccine for the coronavirus. You understand, when it first started, you can imagine the amount of monies that they made, and the amount, how relevant they were at that time. You understand? And some of the platforms that were used at that time, platforms like Zoom, because prior to that time, Zoom, even though it was used, it was not that um, profitable. You understand? But the corona era, the COVID-19 lockdown and all of those made Zoom very, very popular. You understand? And it made it very, very profitable. So create products or services based on customers' insight, or based on inspiration. All right, it's very, very important. Another thing also that would help you, this is one, two, three, number four, is invest in the capacity development of you and your team. Invest in the capacity development. Invest in not just developing your own capacity, but learn to invest in the development of the capacity of those that you work with. Because what I've seen oftentimes is that a lot of people, they spend so much money in investing in themselves, and because they don't, and because the team that they are working with, when I mean team, I mean your employees, all right, that you're working with, because they are not at par, or because they are not at the same level with your capacity, you realize that the work at your level, you understand, now revolves around you, and it becomes overwhelming. You understand? But imagine that you have upgraded their capacity to your level. You understand? You would even have time to rest, or have time to take care of bigger issues. You understand? Than the issues at that level. You understand? So what this simply means is that as you are growing, ensure that you're also helping the members of your team grow, if you want to have an edge in 2026 or and beyond. Apart from that, also number five, is for you to commit to doing all that you know. Commit to doing all that you know. So what this means is that for some of you, and I can boldly tell you this, for some of you, or for most of you, you have a lot of courses that you bought. All right, you have a lot of courses, a lot of books, a lot of programs you have signed up for, that you have not, some of you have not even opened it one day. You just saw it, oh, you loved the whole concept, boom, you click buy and you bought it, but you have not for once opened it to even know what they're talking about. All right, so you may need to go to them, you may need to visit them. So for some of you, you may not have need to buy any course or any program or any sign up for any training in 2026. All you may need to just do is to visit all of the books that you have bought and you have not read them. You need to go to them, start by reading all of them first. If you're done, pick up all of the courses that you have not touched, and the ones that you have touched and are yet to finish, pick them up and go through them. You understand? So, but beyond just consuming all of this, beyond just consuming, beyond just going through them, commit to applying them, because it is in the application that you get results. Because here's the thing, if you know and you don't do, you and the person who knows, who does not even know at all, you are at the same level. Because the difference between the one who knows and the one who does not know is the results. The results that is gotten from the application of the things that the person who knows does. If the person does not apply it, if the person does not work, they may not get the results. I hope you're following. All right. So there's need for you to do that. By the way, if you have questions, please feel free to drop that in the comment section. I will respond to them as I see them. All right. And also feel free to share with me where you are joining in from. I'm glad that you're here. It's because you're on the other side. That's why I'm here doing this. And I hope that you're learning something. I hope you're taking notes. All right. So let's move to number six. Number six, acquire acquire only useful or relevant knowledge. So for those of you who may not have much that you have to catch up with, you understand, you're not in the category of those people, those persons who have gotten so much books, gotten so much programs, but have not finished with them. For some of you who are not in that category, all right, you are, for some of you who have picked up the challenge that you say, you know what, I think I'm going to follow what Dr. Simon Matthew is saying, and I'm going to go get new courses. I'm going to go get programs. You sign up for programs or sign up for trainings. You understand, or get books. You get. So my candid advice to you, you understand, is for you to only buy things that are relevant to your goals, that are relevant to the success that you want to achieve, or that will help you, simply put, achieve the success you desire to achieve. Because what I've seen oftentimes is that a lot of people, maybe out of trying to please somebody, or out of trying to brag that, oh, I have that book, I have the other one, and they just buy all kinds of things. Some people sign up for programs, that this will not add anything to them. The life is short already, and you have so much. So the coming year is going to be a year of so much work. You understand? So in order for you to be able to get results on time, please, because one of the reasons why a lot of people abandon courses or forget about books that they bought, that they don't bother reading them, is because those things are not really around. They didn't buy the books around their need. You understand? They didn't buy the book around the need, the areas of their lives they want to improve at that time. And as a result of that, it becomes difficult for them to even pick up those books and read them. All right? It's very, very important. Another very important thing you need to do is for you to structure your business. Please structure your business. For some of you that need to incorporate your business, please incorporate. For some of you that need to get relevant licenses, please go get relevant licenses. For some of you that need to brand your business, please go brand your business. For some of you that need to create certain standards of operations, please go ahead and do them. Go ahead and do them. You understand? So that you are entering into the new year, you understand, a brand new business. You understand? A business that has been configured or programmed to succeed. You understand? Stop running the way you are running. Because if you keep running the way you are running, you will keep getting the result even worse than what you have gotten before. Because the stakes are getting higher, and the market, it keeps the standards in the market and in the world globally keeps getting higher and higher. So imagine somebody doing something that they were doing 2 years ago. They may likely get worse results than they got 2 years ago. All right. So it's important. Another thing that you also need to do is for you to be consistent. Consistency is very important. It is important that you are consistent. Your quality should be consistent. Show up regularly. Consistency is very, very important. Show up regularly. Ensure that your branding is consistent. Consistency is very important, because consistency will also help you gain better visibility. Consistency will also increase trust. You understand? Because by the time you show up today, tomorrow you show up, day after tomorrow you show up, and you keep showing up, all right, people will begin to warm up to you, and they'll begin to trust you. But if you choose not to stay consistent, you show up today, they will not see you again till next time. It will be difficult for people to trust people like that. You will come to think of you, come to think of it, put yourself in your customer's shoes. If a business does not always show up, they show up today, you don't see them tomorrow, or they're not consistent with their branding. Today they assume this name, tomorrow they assume the other name, and you're confused all over the place. Would you bother patronizing them, especially if you want to engage their services, and that will cost a lot of resources or a lot of money? You may not want to give them such opportunities, all right, because you don't know whether these guys are real, because they don't show up as they ought to show. So consistency, make consistency key. And one of the secrets that I've come to realize about that will help you with consistency is for you to travel light. Travel light. You understand? Personally, over the years, I have tried traveling right through the year with so much. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to, in this area of my life, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And I realized and I discovered that, hey, at the end of the day, I end up, I kid you not, I'm being honest here, I end up sometimes not even going back to those books. You understand? The reason is because there are too much that I've written. Why don't you, that let's say in your business, we want to achieve three things, and you put that on the board. You put that on the board that you're going to achieve that this year, let's say first quarter, we're going to achieve number one, two, and three. Because the truth of the matter is that it's not about trying to impress anybody. It's not about impressing people, but it is about getting things done, and done well and on time, and consistently. You understand? So travel light. Don't put too much in your plate. Bite only what you can chew per time. By the time you're done chewing it, you can then bite another chunk. But if you bite more than you can chew, you may find it very difficult to show up consistently, because sometimes it can be overwhelming. It can be overwhelming, especially doing business can be overwhelming. All right, so that is it. Another thing you can also do that will give you an advantage is for you to be diligent to do better than you did this year. Be diligent to do better than you did this year. I'll say that again. Be diligent to outdo your performance of this year. Be diligent to do all your performance. Be diligent to outdo your performance. Be diligent to outdo your performance. I know that some of you did well this year, right? But that is not all. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. Things keeps improving every day by day. Even the gadgets you buy, for example, the smartphones that you have, some of the applications on it, you understand, they will keep telling you to update. Update. So what this simply means is that they are trying to improve the performance of those devices. If the people who are behind those applications would, sometimes even the smartphone would also tell you to update it. You understand? Even though it's not something that happens regularly, but it happens. You understand? So this simply means that it is important for you to constantly work work the extra mile to ensure that you outdo your last performance. It's very, very important. Then of course, incorporate technology. If you remember the things I shared with you about the possible trends in the global market in 2026, all right, it is important, especially in this era of AI, it is important that you incorporate it. You incorporate AI into your operation if you want to stay relevant. Incorporate AI into your operation if you want to stay relevant. You understand? But if you don't want to stay relevant, no problem. Incorporate technology. You understand? So what this means is that for some of you, you may need to get a website next year. All right, before the new year, some of you may need to get a website. Some of you whose businesses does not have any presence on social media, you may need to get that. For some of you who have not started warming up, who have not started adopting AI into your operation, you may need to begin to do that. All right, that is the only way you can have an edge. Have an edge. All right, otherwise you will be at the same level with others who are not there yet. Aside that, also it is important for you to learn to seek professional help. Learn to seek professional help when your business is in need. Learn to seek professional help. Learn to seek professional help. I want you to know this. I want you to know this. Professionals are there to help you. And the interesting thing is that professionals are not very expensive, as some of you may think they are. Why did I say this? Which would you prefer? You understand? Which would you prefer? That you spend 5 years figuring out something than to spend 30 minutes with a professional figuring out that thing? Which would you prefer? Which is more expensive? which is more expensive. Some of you, you only check expenses based on cash. Some of you don't check it based on time. And if you don't check it based on time, you will not know how much of the damages you're doing to your business. Some of you will think that, well, I can figure everything all by myself out. It doesn't work that way. You understand? Because here's the thing: professionals, especially in the specialized professionals, because most of them are specialized, so they have certain areas. For example, someone who is into digital marketing, for example, they dedicate their resources, their life, you understand, primarily or majorly to learning more about digital marketing to help you. You understand? They are in a better position to help you win with digital marketing than you trying to run ads all by yourself simply because maybe you did a crash course and you think you can do it. The same thing goes for graphic designers, for example. You know, somebody they are not just designing. You understand? They have certain elements, certain principles that they use to that they align their designs with, and that's the difference between them and you. You understand? For the fact that you can go on YouTube and just go through one short class, and the next thing you are on your way to Canva, you just mix things together and you put out there, not knowing that you are projecting your business in a bad light. It is the reason why, despite how good your product is, it is not getting the kind of attention it should get because a professional was not involved in the process of trying to create things or designs or even branding that will help better project it. So please invest in getting professional help, right? Another thing is that learn to listen. Learn to listen. I was in a forum not too long ago, and I got talking with some people, and before the meeting started, and by the time the meeting started, I also voiced this out. I realized there and then, while I was talking with them, I told them that one of the reasons why a lot of businesses are not doing well and why they are even folding up is because they don't listen. They don't listen. You understand? They don't listen. I'm not talking about just, okay, what are your concerns? You just share, and you know those things that we do, those kind of things that we do, that employees do just to, okay, to fulfill all righteousness. That, okay, they'll just take this person said this, and no, pay attention to the things they are saying, and as you are listening, you are paying attention, you are committing to solving them. That is what real listening is. You're not giving them your ears to attack them or to gather materials in using to defend yourself. No, but you are genuinely listening to get substance from their claims or substance from the feedbacks with the intention of doing something about it. You understand? So that's why it's important for you to learn to listen. Listen to your customers. Listen to your customers. They are your primary constituencies. You need to learn to listen to them. Sometimes also listen to your employees. Your employees are saying something, maybe by virtue, because most of the time, as the business leader, you may be somewhere doing big, chasing bigger things, that the small things, that your employees have to deal with customers, you may not be privy to them. So until you run that kind of open door policies where they can reach out to you or message you with real concerns from customers, you may not be able to know. So it's important that you also give listening ears to your employees. And if maybe for some reasons they are no longer satisfied with the condition of service and all of those things, you need to listen. Because if you don't listen and do something about it, your business may soon be amongst those that may not make it out of 2026. All right. It's also important that you listen to your host community. You understand? Let's say you have a physical building somewhere, where you maybe run your productions, and of course there are pollutions, environmental pollutions or something. You understand? Learn to listen to them, listen to their demands, so they don't disrupt your business's operation. Learn to listen to your partners. It's also important. All right, they are partners. They have learn to listen to your partners, to investors. They have a stake in your business, so learn to listen to them. They may have better suggestions that will be able to help move your business forward. But if you are too full of yourself and you're refusing to listen, you may not take advantage of the things that they're going to be sharing with you. All right, so it's important that you do what? You listen. All right, so talking about listening, interestingly, I realized that most business owners would prefer to listen to their friends. The people you should even listen to more, and I'm being practical here, the people you should even listen to more are the people who have feedbacks that may seem somehow offensive to you, may seem somehow uncomfortable. Okay, I didn't let me use uncomfortable. I replace the offensive with uncomfortable. That may seem uncomfortable. That may seem negative on a service level. You understand? Because within the perceived negativity and uncomfortability, within it are truths that could save your business or that could help your business do better. But what some of you, who the people you prefer to listen to, are the people who will tell you what you want to hear. Your friends. You understand? Your friends, your family members. They'll tell you, "Don't worry, it's not that thing." Those people, they don't know how business runs. They know how business runs. Those people will not, they will not be there when your business crashes. Some of them will be amongst those that will gossip you, that will tell you, "Ah, we have been telling him that or her that they don't know how to do business." Whereas the problem is actually that they are the ones that were instrumental to the folding up of that business. So it's important that you learn to listen. Another very important thing you need to do is be flexible. Be flexible to adapt to changes. Be flexible to adapt to changes. I want you to note this, and I will read it from my notes. The market is dynamic. All right, the market is dynamic and can easily change without notice. The market is dynamic and can easily change without notice. And only those that change with it quickly will remain relevant in the marketplace, will remain relevant in the market. So that's the reason why it's important that you are flexible and can adapt quickly. You understand? Can adapt quickly. Another very important thing is for you to know about what you do. Know about what you do. Please know about what you do. And please educate your team members. Let them know about what you do. Please educate them. Let them know about the services that you render. Let them even know about the offers that you make. And let them know. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let everybody, make everyone in your team, make everyone in your organization, make them, train them as though you are training them to be marketers. And in fact, they can all be marketers of your brand. They can be marketers of your products. The thing is that sometimes people may just interface. People may just meet with your, let's say you have a building, you understand? People may just meet with your with those with your security men at the gate, and we begin to engage them and ask them questions. This is one of the reasons why I learned a lot of things from financial institutions. Most of them that are really given to training their staff. What they do is that even down to the man at the gate, he or she can tell you one or two things about their offers and how you can take advantage of them. You can adopt that. You understand? Please know what you do and also train your team to know what you do. It's important. All right, it's important. Another thing that's also important is for you to be business inclined and not just technically inclined. Understand the business of your craft. Understand the business of your trade. Understand the business of your craft. Understand the business of your trade. Don't just devote too much energy, time, investment, resources into learning how to develop apps, or into learning how to develop softwares, or into learning how to sew, how to make lovely dresses. Also understand the business part, because for every business, for every skill, there are two dimensions to them. There is the technical dimension, and there is also the business dimension. Learn to know the two very, very well. The reason why you need to do this is that because Since it's the business, the business needs to be sustained. If you don't understand the business skill aspect of what you do, you may not be able to push it in a way that is going to succeed or is going to stand the test of time. Aside that, also it's important for you to partner and collaborate with more people, especially with organizations and businesses related to yours. Learn to do partnership. If you want to travel far, like they would say, you want to travel fast, like they would say, go alone. But if you want to travel far, please go with people. And I've realized that one of the ways to even remove competition is to collaborate with people, collaborate on different fronts. Maybe in terms of getting of raw materials, you can collaborate. You understand? Instead of individually, you guys will go get your raw materials. Why don't you pool resources? Come together. Say, hey, come, hey, one of us will buy this particular raw material. Why don't we pool resources together and let one person go buy it for us? Do you understand? So learn to collaborate. Is very, very important. Learn to collaborate. All right? I hope you guys are learning something. So learn to um, learn to collaborate. Another very important thing is for you to seek useful information about business. Seek useful information. Another very important thing is for you to be courageous enough to make bold moves. Be courageous enough to make bold moves. Don't just stay in your comfort zone. Don't just stay in your comfort zone. Don't just say, oh, well, um, I think I'm okay here, and you remain there. Hmm? It's important. Apart from that, also work on your visibility. Work on your visibility. It's important. Do away with things that only have sentimental value. Do away with them. You understand? Do away with them. Then lastly, move at the pace of your capacity. Move at the pace of your capacity. I believe that when you do all of these things, you are going to begin to experience success in the coming year. So before I go, like I mentioned, we'll be doing this as masterclass series. We're doing this as masterclass series, and it's going to be amazing. And of course, I'll be releasing a magazine. All right, it's called the Business Sense Digest. I'll be leaving a link in the comment section below for you to follow. Thank you very much, and bye for now.